Urgent Las Vegas Raiders fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Las Vegas Raiders updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Raiders fans! Today, I've got some incredible news that's been making waves across the NFL world, especially among the loyal supporters of the Silver and Black. If you've been paying attention to the latest buzz, you know that the Las Vegas Raiders are not sitting back quietly. No, sir. They're actively making moves behind the scenes, looking to reshape their roster in a way that could define their future, particularly heading into the 2025 season. And trust me, what's happening right now is nothing short of exciting. We're talking about a team that has been steadily building, trying to find that perfect balance between veteran leadership and young talent, all while aiming to become a real contender in the AFC. The Raiders, under the guidance of their management and coaching staff, have identified two key targets in the trade market, players who could be game changers if they manage to pull off these deals. Now, I know fans are eager to know exactly who these players are, what positions they play, and how they could impact the team. But first, let's set the stage for why these moves are so crucial. The Raiders, as many of you know, have had a roller coaster of a few seasons. There was a lot of promise when they moved to Las Vegas, and the fan base has been hungry for consistent success. The team showed flashes of brilliance, especially on offense, with weapons like Davante Adams and Josh Jacobs leading the way. But defensively, there's been some inconsistency, and that's where the front office is focusing their efforts now. They want to bolster that side of the ball, add some depth, and bring in players who can make an immediate impact. That's why these potential trades are so significant. One of the targets, according to insiders and rumors circulating through NFL circles, is a high-level defensive player. Someone who could bring a ferocious pass rush and help stabilize the secondary. The Raiders are looking into acquiring a linebacker or edge rusher that can complement Max Crosby, who's already established himself as one of the league's premier pass rushers. The idea is to create a front seven that opponents will find hard to handle. Imagine a defense where Crosby is flanked by a versatile, disruptive force that can pressure quarterbacks all game long. That would be a nightmare for offenses and a huge boost for the Raiders' chances to control games. On the offensive side, the team is eyeing a wide receiver who can step in and provide reliable yards after the catch, a red zone threat, and a consistent target for quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Adding a player like this could give the Raiders that extra edge in close games, especially in the playoffs, where every possession counts. It's no secret that the team's offensive line has been improving, but they need more explosive playmakers to truly elevate the attack. The management understands that and is actively seeking players who can elevate the entire offense. Now, I want to pause here and give you a moment to process all this. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Las Vegas Raiders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. What makes this situation even more fascinating is the strategic timing of these negotiations. The Raiders are known for their calculated moves, and they're clearly trying to strike while the iron is hot. The NFL trade deadline is fast approaching, and teams often make their biggest splashes during this period. The fact that Las Vegas is actively hunting for upgrades shows their commitment to competing at the highest level. They've been methodically analyzing tape, negotiating behind closed doors, and weighing their options to ensure they get the best possible return. Another aspect to consider is how these potential acquisitions could influence the locker room. Raiders players, both veterans and young rookies, are watching these developments closely. The addition of high-caliber talent can boost morale, foster a competitive environment, and push everyone to perform at their peak. Fans have seen how a few key additions can turn around a team's season. Just look at what happened with some of the league's top contenders last year. The Raiders are aiming for that same kind of turnaround, and the signs point to their front office being aggressive in pursuit of that goal. Now, when we talk about the broader picture, we need to appreciate the current state of the Raiders roster. Offensively, they've got some solid pieces, especially with Garoppolo leading the charge, and a running game powered by Jacobs that's among the best in the league. But consistency has been an issue at times, and the team lacks that splashy receiver who can change games with a single play. Adding a proven playmaker on the outside could be the final piece needed to unlock the full potential of this offense. Defensively, there's promise, but also gaps that need filling. Crosby's emergence has been a bright spot, but the team needs more talent across the front seven and in the secondary. The potential trade for a top-tier linebacker or pass rusher could be the difference maker, especially in high-stakes situations. It's about creating a defense that can close out games, not just compete in them. The Raiders want to be a team that imposes their will on opponents, both offensively and defensively, and these trade targets could be pivotal in achieving that. And let's not forget the history of the franchise. The Raiders have always been about bold moves, whether it's legendary players, iconic coaches, or game-changing trades. This current push to bring in new talent continues that tradition. Fans have seen the team make some daring decisions in the past, and this current strategy aligns with that fearless approach. It's about building a roster capable of competing for a Super Bowl, not just making up the numbers. Looking ahead, the excitement among the fan base is palpable. Social media is buzzing with speculation, and every Raiders supporter is eager to see how these negotiations unfold. Will they pull off the trade for the defensive star? Will they secure that explosive receiver? The possibilities are thrilling. The team's front office is working tirelessly behind the scenes, and the hope is that these efforts will culminate in a roster that can not only contend but dominate in 2025. Throughout the season, we've seen the Raiders face ups and downs, but this latest push shows they are in it for the long haul. They're clearly not content with just being a middling team. They want to be a force, a team that opponents fear. And with these potential trades, they're taking concrete steps toward that goal. It's about making smart, strategic moves that set the foundation for sustained success. Now, if you've been following the NFL at all, you know that trades don't always happen overnight. Sometimes, the negotiations stretch over weeks, and fans are left in suspense. But the fact that the Raiders are actively involved in discussions for these key players signals their seriousness. They're not just window dressing, they're positioning themselves to make a splash, and that's what makes this offseason so intriguing. And what about the fans? Well, Raiders fans are some of the most passionate in the league. Every trade rumor, every sign of movement, sparks a wave of excitement. They're dreaming of a team that can finally break through the AFC and make a deep playoff run. The city of Las Vegas, with its vibrant energy and relentless spirit, is eager to see their team rise. The expectation is high, and the team's management knows it. That's why they're working so hard to bring in the right pieces. As we get closer to the NFL trade deadline, the intensity will only increase. Will the Raiders land their target? Will they surprise everyone with a blockbuster move? That remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the team is committed to building a roster that's ready to compete at the highest level. The potential additions of these players could be the catalyst that propels the Raiders into legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And now, Las Vegas Raiders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors and potential trades? Do you believe these moves will push the team over the edge? Who do you think the Raiders should target if they're looking for that game-changing player? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Raiders organization. We love hearing your insights and predictions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis on everything happening with the Raiders. This is an exciting time for the franchise, and the future looks bright if they can nail these moves. Keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned, and let's continue to support our team through thick and thin. The journey to 2025 is just beginning, and with the right moves, the Raiders could be on their way to something special. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Raiders!